Churches in Texas, 8 pastors have either been fired or stepped down from their positions. Here's a look at some of them. In June, Pastor Tony Evans resigned from Oak Cliff Bible Fellowship Church in Dallas, saying he committed a sin, leaving it at that. Gateway Church has lost 4 pastors in 2 months, including Robert Morris and Kimto Glasgow. Morris stepped down after allegations he molested a 12-year-old girl in the 80s when it came to light. That 12-year-old girl, who is now a woman, was on the Factor Uncensored just 2 weeks ago telling her story. And in Frisco, Pastor Tony Camarada was fired from Stonebriar Church, Community Church, after admitting to a moral failure. The question is, what the hell is going on? Joining us to talk about it, pastor and journalist Dr. Ruth Olison, and leader of SNAP, Eduardo Lopez de Casas. And SNAP goes after people in the religious community and other positions of power who take advantage of children and other individuals. So, Dr. Ruth, as a pastor looking at this, what are your thoughts?
Well, it's earth-shaking. But at the same time, there is a beautiful scripture that says judgment begins with the house of God. Mm-hmm. And men and women who serve in the church are in the church to serve God's people and to help God's people. The problem is that there's a lot of power and a lot of temptation that can go with that. And so it behooves everyone in these positions, no matter what size the church, to remember what the purpose of the church is, to get people into a relationship with God. And I think it's about time that we had some good old-fashioned fear of God. And it seems like we deal with the love of God. I love the love of God. But I think, especially those of us who purport to represent God and to help people come into a relationship with God, need to have a holy fear as well.
And with many individuals who go in with that love of God, and then the cash starts flowing in, and then it becomes a business, and you forget about God, and then you have yourself taking advantage of other people. Can we never expect better?
We have to have better. And there are a lot of really good, wonderful pastors and ministers and
who've never gone wrong.
Right, who are doing a lot of good stuff, and we don't hear about them. Mm-hmm. So I don't think this is representative. I can tell you that I've been following some of the prophets, and a lot of this has been prophesied. That's a real religious word, but it was prophesied that a lot of these kingdoms that have been built up, that are focused on personalities and people, that God is going to topple.
All right, Eduardo, let's bring you in. SNAP, you guys, you know, your main focus has been, but it's not limited to Catholic priests that are out there. And when you see so many people, like in the last 20, and this is not all in Texas, but this is like 8 so far that we have highlighted. Mm-hmm. Is this supposed to happen? That way you're exposing those who are taking advantage of people.
Well, we at SNAP have been dealing, of course, with statistics and with predators for over 30 years. So for us, it's not surprising. As a matter of fact, I'm very happy with what is happening. And I think that the boost that we're seeing, Isaiah, is because actually of the young people and social media, because what we're seeing now is that the young people are seeing all of these allegations and all of these abuses on social media of the gymnasts, of the churches, of the schools. They're having a bigger influence now on their parents. The parents are from another generation where this used to be taboo and you didn't talk about it. Now suddenly the children are changing their views of religion, which is causing the parents to then step back. That's why there is such a big decline now in the churches. The churches don't want to admit it, but that's exactly what's happening. We are very happy that people are getting involved in exposing all of these people, because one of the movements that I'm starting now is that we need to start calling some of these places, some of these churches that have 3, 4 people accused of molesters, as mass molestation sites, so that when people are picking their church, they know the history. Because I know that if I went to a church that I was told had 5 molesters, I would not take my family there, Isaiah.
All right. We want to thank you guys for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. A good point you make there.